Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the Spangler Hills Off-Highway Vehicle Recreation Staging Area. This is an area used in the winter and fall and spring. This is usually filled up with RVs with dirt bikers and quad riders, but since it's summertime, there's nobody here, and it's a weekday, and it's a nice empty dry lake bed to go flying racers. And what I got for you today is the P200 from JJPRO, or JJRC, JJPRO P200. There are two versions of this quadcopter, the P175, which is a little smaller one, and the P200. The main difference being between the two, just the size. The P175 is about 170 meters in diameter, and the P200 is about 200 meters in diameter. So, that's the main difference between the two. Let's go over the quadcopter, the P200. Comes with nice camouflage props, 2600, I believe. No, RS2205 kilovolt 2300 motors on the P200 as compared to 2600 kilovolt on the P175, which is interesting. It comes with a 11.1 volt 11.1 volt 1500 milliampere hour battery. I believe it's a Skyline 32 flight control board that's programmable with Cleanflight. It comes with a 48-channel FPV transmitter, which is pretty darn cool. A circular polarized antenna, and also a mount for a GoPro, which I happen to put actually instead of a GoPro, I got an SJ-Cam 5000 plus on here today. And also an 800 TVL camera for viewing the FPV. So very simple design. We'll see how well it flies. One thing though I don't like about it is the battery is on the bottom, on the belly of the quadcopter. It is a little bit protected with this carbon plate here, but the thing that I don't like is it touches the base of the quadcopter directly, and it has these little bolts on the base of the quadcopter which might protrude into the battery, particularly in a hard landing. So to protect the battery, I put some shipping foam there and some double-sided tape there to hold the shipping foam onto the battery. It's attached to the battery actually, so that should hopefully protect it. Let's go over the transmitter. The transmitter for this is a very basic transmitter. It's Nighthawk transmitter EM16. Just has an on-off switch, a binding switch, two three-position switches, switch A and switch C. The way this is set up in Cleanflight is, by default, the top position here is angle mode, center position is horizon, and the bottom position is set up in default as acro mode. Switch C is set up in top position, nothing, center position beep. So if your quadcopter crashes out in the desert, or not in the desert, but out in a grassy area, say, or a bushy area, just set it to beep, and it'll help you be able to find it. And you can turn the LED lights on the quadcopter on and off to save battery power by pulling the switch all the way down. To start the quadcopter, you bind it with the transmitter by first turning the transmitter on, and then we plug in the quadcopter, and then to unlock the blades, you bring the throttle down and to the right, and to lock the blades upon landing, the throttle down and to the left. Now today I'm flying the quadcopter with default stock settings. I did not change anything. Well, I did change one thing in there. The quadcopter was beeping every time I would turn on the transmitter, and the way I fixed it was, if you go into the VBAT settings, I raised the maximum voltage warning from 4.2 volts to 4.3 volts and saved that. I did not want to turn off VBAT. Others have suggested turning off VBAT to turn off that beeping, because I want to hear low voltage warning. Okay, so I kept VBAT settings on. It's just I bumped up that high voltage warning from 4.2 volts to 4.3 volts. Actually, I don't know what that voltage warning would be for in the particular case if you're using the stock battery. So, but just by doing that and resetting, that stopped the beeping when I turned the quadcopter on. Others have suggested that this quadcopter might have problems with failsafe. I did not see that. I turned on the quadcopter and bonded to the transmitter, turned the transmitter off, and my particular quadcopter's shut down. So failsafe seems to be set automatically with the stock settings. So let's go for a flight of the P200 from JJRC, their first foray into, or one of their first forays into RC racing, and see how it performs. Hope you enjoyed this flight. Okay, I just flew the P175 and I was pleasantly surprised how well it could fly. It is a darn good flyer. But now it's the P200's turn. We'll see how well it performs. I'm going to set the timer here for 3 minutes. Since we're carrying a GoPro, we're not going to get 5 minutes like a normal flight on this quadcopter. This quadcopter should be able to get you about 5 minutes flight time without a camera attached. But we are going to be flying with the GoPro, or a JJPRO 5000 to be exact. So I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes for this flight. To start the quadcopter, put it on a flat level surface. Turn on its transmitter. Then plug in the quadcopter. And we are going to turn on the camera. Okay, I plugged in the quadcopter camera and starting the camera recording. And one thing before we take off, I want to verify that we got FPV reception on my receiver here, so we can demonstrate what FPV looks like out of this quadcopter. And we will start the timer. 3 minutes again, I'm set. And unlocking the quadcopter. And I'm going to turn the LED lights off to save battery power. We'll take to the air. Again, this is stock settings with a GoPro attached, or SJ cam. Just showing you what it looks like in flight. Okay, let's take it out. Now yes, the 175 was a heck of a good flyer. Let's see if this one is. Giving it more pitch. Going out into the field. This one's a little more wobbly than the 175. I'm not sure what that is, but there we go. Let's bring it in. Just a little bit of a wobble. Let's try the punch. Ready? Set. Oh, hell of a lot of punch on this. A lot of power. Coming back down. So yeah, there's a lot of power in this little quad. Let's try speed. Let's see how much speed it's got. I'm going to take it down here and open it up a bit. Well, it is fast. It climbs fast too when you come out of that speed. So, yeah, it's a good flyer. I'm just curious how much more flight time I got than the P175. P175 only got 3 minutes with the GoPro attached. Hoping to get a little bit more with this. Slightly bigger battery. Slightly bigger quadcopter. Still not hearing a beep on it yet, so we still got flight time. Gee, Manise, it's fast. It is. Ooh. I don't know what happened there, folks. It just dropped out of the sky. I haven't reached 3 minutes of flight time yet. Let me go over and get it. It just dropped out of the sky. And I was only about 60, 70 meters away. Hopefully my camera survived the impact. We'll find out here shortly. I'm going to stop that camera. There goes my beeper in the background here. And the camera seems fine. How about that quadcopter? Let's lock it. Okay, the battery popped out of the battery holder. Let's put it back in. Do I see any damn? Oh, there's some dirt in there. There's sand in there. I don't want to fly it just yet. Hold on, let me disconnect the battery. I am going to clean out the motors, see if we can get another flight out of this. I don't see any damage other than I got dirt in the motors. It survived that drop. It was a pretty big drop. The propeller survived the drop too, which is surprising to me. But other than that, I do not see. Oh, here we go. I see a little damage on the circular polarized antenna. So because of that drop, I'm going to take it home for now, but I am kind of surprised that it did pop out of the sky like that. There was really no reason for it to do that. It just had a drop on. So we'll take it back and see if I can get it. We'll take it for another flight another day, but hope you enjoyed this first flight of the JJPRO 200, P200. Unusual that it dropped. But okay, Quadcopter 101, signing out. Okay, we're back again. It's another day here. We have some little bit of cloud cover here at the Spangler Hills OHV staging area. But after that last flight, and it fell out of the sky, I looked it over. Nothing broke, at least nothing mechanical. All props work. I took it home, did a little bit of hover testing at home. But there is one thing happened, and that's the video is now somewhat blurry. I need to focus that, and I got to research that, how to focus this particular camera. But that's not going to stop us from flying. I want to make sure this thing still can fly and still can fly high speed. I took off the GoPro. That might have caused the problem. You know, I was pretty sure I had this all the way plugged in, folks, so I don't think it was the plug. But that GoPro might have overheated some circuit in here and caused it to just stop and fall out of the sky like it did there. And also I put high power batteries in the transmitter. They're rechargeables, are fully charged, so that's not going to be an issue. So let's go for a flight and see if this thing still flies after that drop from the sky. That was a pretty high drop. I'm surprised it stayed in one piece. Okay, turning on the transmitter. Make sure switches are up. Transmitter on. And also notice I got my little 808 keychain camera on this today. And there's no way the 808 is going to be too heavy for this quadcopter. The 808 should work fine. Okay, and plugging in the quadcopter all the way in. Flat level surface, kind of. And I can't fly with FPV today because of the blurry camera, but we will still get video from this. Unlocking. Ooh, why did I do that? Unlocking again. Going to the air. Let's see how it works. It's doing it again. I'm bringing it in close. I think it might be it's going out of transmission range. Bringing it in closer. Did you see that, folks? It did it again. So I'm not going to fly this anymore, or I'm going to fly it and keep it close. But the antenna, it seemed to lose reception there. Well, one thing I want to do before I put it away, let's do a punch out. I don't know if that was wise or not, bringing it back down, but I wanted to show you this thing has tons of power. We'll do that again. Bringing it in close again. Doing one more punch out. Ready, set. Lots of power. Oh. I don't know what that is, folks. I'm bringing it in. Little wiggliness. I am just going to land it wherever it lands. Right, okay, there we go. No more of that. Did you see that? It was unusual. So you know, the P200 here, it's kind of, I'm kind of afraid to fly it. It was flying great there for a bit, but now it's getting uncommanded, or commands that I did not input. So I'm going to land it here and call it quits with this particular model. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here with another flight of the P200. Since my previous flights and the issues that I experienced with them, I had contacted my sponsor, and they had contacted JJRC to see what might be the problem. And based on what they were seeing, you know, with the intermittent cutouts, they were thinking that it might be a problem with the transmitter itself. Now, my sponsor did know that I had another one of these, a P175, as you saw in the beginning of this video, and they suggested that I try to bind my P175 transmitter with a P200 and try that out, which I did, which is very simple to do, by the way. To bind these transmitters, all you need to do, there's a little bind plug that you got that goes into this bat slot. It's the very farthest right slot on the receiver, and you simply plug that little binding plug that comes with these quadcopters into that slot, turn on the transmitter, or turn on the quadcopter by powering it up, by plugging in the battery port, and then at the same time holding down this bind plug, or bind button, and turning on the transmitter, and that should bind the transmitter, and it did, to the quadcopter. So we're going to use my P175 transmitter today and see if that corrects the issues with the dropouts that I was experiencing with the P200, because I really want to get a good flight in with this P200, because it's I really like the P175, and I think I might like the P200 just as much if it would stay in the air. So let's go for a flight of the P200 and see how it performs. Hope you enjoy this flight. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is turn on my camera, on my 808 keychain camera, and start the recording there. Then I'm going to turn on the transmitter. Then I'm going to, at the same time, plug in the battery on my quadcopter. And I got my little timer here, set to 4, whoops, yeah, we should be bound. I got my timer, I'm going to set it to 4 minutes, starting the timer, and it's timed. Unlocking the blades. Let's go to the air and see if this fixes it. Okay, checking stability, control with the quadcopter, seems to be working. And I'm going to start out slow, pick up pace, bring it in close, and punch it. That's working nice. See if I bring it back down again. Well, I haven't seen any weird effects again, so maybe it was just simply the transmitter. I hope so, because this is one fast machine also, like the P175. Oh yeah, not seeing any issues. So it's simply a bad transmitter. Fun quadcopter too, like the P175. Oh, it's just a good quad. Let's bring that in and show it to you. Okay, so yeah, that was the issue. Thank you, JJRC, for replying. For others that might experience problems, I wonder, you know, if they would have been so receptive. But yeah, it was just simply a transmitter problem. Okay, let's bring it in and do my favorites that I like to do with these. To show you the power on these. Now keep in mind, I don't have the GoPro camera on this. And the reason being, the GoPro camera weighs it down a bit, but without the GoPro you can do this. Great quad. See a little bit of a wobble. Not too much, but there is a little bit of a wobble. Let's go around the lake bed here. It is fast. It's a good one. And I'm glad that there was not an issue with it, just the transmitter itself. And you know, this is the ready-to-fly transmitter. It's not the best in the world that comes with this, by the way. So yeah, there could have been issues with the quality control of these transmitters that comes with this. Yep. One more, huh? Excellent. And I hit the beeper button. Good flyer. Similar to the P175. And I'm glad it works. Let's bring it in now for some thumbnails. And there goes my 3 minutes. And there goes my beeper. Well, what I have it set to 4 minutes. So I better bring it in here. Okay, and you guys seen enough of this fly, so. Good quadcopter. And finally it works. The P200. Yep, P175 transmitter fixed the problem. Okay, let me unplug it and turn off my camera. So all in all, yeah, this one's a winner too. Glad that they fixed the problem with the transmitter, or that I was able to discover the problem with the transmitter and have that corrected. So all in all, very good flyer, very similar to the P175. I do notice a little bit of a wobble though, as compared to the P175. I didn't notice any wobble at all, but just a little bit when I was hovering there. But other than that, you know, once I got it out and picked up speed, no wobble at all, I noticed. Just went in hover, just a tiny little bit. So, all in all, good quadcopter, good flyer, very fast flyer, lots of power. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, crash worthy. Okay, bye-bye.